All right, everybody, welcome to the show. Welcome, 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 welcome again. And that's already a better monologue than the opening monologue of the Golden Globes. This is episode two, officially, of Oscars Mafia. And we are here with the same crew that was on the last episode. We got Jasmine
Hello.
and Jared. It was dramatic pause.
Hello, everyone.
Brett and
Yeah.
Tristan were supposed to be here, but
Yeah.
I had to do we had to do a little bit of Mafia stuff here and had to take him out. Know what I'm saying? No, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm I'm trying to tie the Mafia thing into the show and it's not working. Off to a great start. Maybe this isn't better than the Golden Globes opening monologue. Anyway, so based on well this the title of this, you already know why we're here. We're talking about the Golden Globe Awards, which um what do you guys think?
Um, man, I I
Uh,
I think I have like 1 or 2 years left in me, and then I know award shows in 2020, they need to start changing. I went into this optimistic, hey, at least this guy will probably, yes, maybe might be better than Jimmy Kimmel, and then he did that monologue, and I was like, no,
I was like, just bring
no,
back
no,
Ricky.
no.
I want Ricky Gervais back, which is what
Yeah, as we've been
happens.
alluding to, this guy is
Bring back Ricky Gervais.
that guy is terrible. Oh my God. I, I didn't watch the Golden Globes last year because I was in Colombia and my internet was not good while I was down there. Um but I remember people talking about how bad Jared Carmichael was as a host.
Bring him back too.
I was gonna say I feel like he seems like Neil Patrick Harris or Seth MacFarlane compared to this guy. Like, bro, everything this guy said was like the cringiest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. And I don't think that's an exaggeration.
It's really weird when we say we want Ricky Gervais to come back and home because everyone else hates him as a person.
I mean, yeah, that's you know shit's bad when we're asking for Ricky Gervais. I mean, I like there's plenty of hosts that you could pick. But like at a certain point, it's just like okay, just bring back Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, or just have Jimmy Kimmel, or like, and I'm not crazy about Jimmy Kimmel as host, but like he's kind of a safe pick, whereas this clown was like just shat the fucking bed, and like the joke like I can't believe this was a real like he thought of this and thought that this was like a funny thing to say. It's a joke that like I don't understand how somebody thought of that and said, "Yeah, that's funny." Somebody over the age of like 15 thought this was funny when he said something to the effect of Barbie is an adaptation of a doll with big boobies or something like that. You guys know what I'm
Joke in
talking?
quotation marks.
Yeah.
Joke in
Yeah.
quotation marks.
Who thought like what kind of grown ass man thinks that's a funny joke, especially when to say on live television? And like you guys saw Greta Gerwig's reaction to that. She looked really
I saw a video on Twitter and everyone looks really uncomfortable. Like literally everyone looks
yeah, but
really
like
You could
Greta
you
Gerwig in
could
uncomfortable.
particular, she was like like it was painful to watch.
You see Kyle Buchanan's tweet from inside the Golden Globes? He's like, "Yeah, it's awkward in here too."
Oh, you could, because that room is silent. That's
Yeah,
the
he was
Yeah,
thing
like,
too.
"Yeah, it's worse here."
it's like I'm not one to make fun of people for like because like I'm sure this guy like likes doing what he does, right? But I'm like, dude, you gotta find another line of work. Like this is not for you. 'Cause it's so bad. And I just and not only was the writing terrible, the delivery was really terrible. Like I don't know why this guy got the fucking gig, right?
He also had a really awkward joke about Barry Keoghan's penis, which is very weird.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's very weird.
I mean, it's like, who thought that that was funny? And again, like, who thought that that was appropriate to say on live TV? Because like it's not just like he's saying it off the cuff or whatever. Like if he was saying it off the cuff, it would be bad, but it wouldn't be like that bad. He thought it out, and then he gave the script to the producers because they have to type it into the teleprompter. It's like, how was that approved? How was that approved? Like I genuinely do not understand. Pick a myriad of different hosts, and they would do a much better job than this dweeb did. Uh,
Luckily, we didn't see too much of him after the opening monologue, which was nice.
anyway, let's stop talking about this jackass. Um, he's about to be sleeping with the fishes anyway. Let's just turn to the actual awards themselves. So, supporting actress was the first award. They usually do one of the supporting categories first. Sometimes it's supporting actor,
The
sometimes it's
order of
supporting
awards
actress.
was genuinely very weird,
It,
which I
it,
think they're normally weird, but it's
it's
very weird.
yeah, it's always weird. Like I remember 2019 or whatever, they did director before they did supporting actress. I'm like, why?
That's usually why they do director not like near the end. Like they
Yeah.
do the middle of the ceremony. Really weird.
Yeah, it's like when they did like when when it was the Oscars here's a couple years ago and they were like, and now Bong Joon-ho to present best director. It was like, wait, what? And we hadn't gotten to sound or supporting actress or editing or cinematography. It was just like so fucking strange. Um, but they start with supporting actress, which goes to and I believe this is the correct pronunciation based on what they said, Davine Joy Randolph for the holdovers. Which
I don't know how it's pronounced because like they say that, but then so I think like Paul Giamatti says divine in his speech, so I
yeah,
really wish I knew.
I'm going with Davine because that's apparently the correct pronunciation. So I'm
Yeah,
just gonna go with
congratulations on your Oscar. Your speeches will be great.
this. Yeah, that speech was lovely. She really seemed surprised
The speeches were lovely,
by
not the best of the night, in my
by the
opinion.
win. And like I mean, I gotta say, and I said this last year when we were talking about Ke Huy Quan's Oscar win. Jeff Wells, who's loathsome, um, wrote on his blog to the effect of, "How can you be crying so hard? You knew this was going to happen." And I'm just like, bro, shut the fuck up, please. And like, I just like, I feel like there's gonna be reactions where it's like, why does she seem so shocked? She should have known this was coming. I'm like, bro, nobody knows
They don't follow the
when
Oscars
it's
like we
coming.
do.
And even if they did, like, it's so even if they did follow the Oscar race, it's so overwhelming for them that like it can still be overwhelming that they actually like won this. Like it's almost like imposter syndrome, you know what I mean? I don't know, man. It's just like I always hate when people say that shit. Always hate when people say that shit. And to be fair, like I think most people kind of like have an understanding where it's like, yeah, it's an overwhelming moment for people. Like it could be a lot, right? But yeah, whenever people say that, like it kind of gets under my nerves. But she did seem shocked that she won, and I like seeing moments like that on award shows. Um, Now that win was followed by Best Supporting Actor, which I guess as expected, went to Robert Downey Jr. and Oppenheimer, which
Ay, ay, ay.
I'm gonna have to deal with this all fucking. Look, I get it. He's good in the movie. Like I understand that this is a moment that people want to recognize and like give Robert Downey Jr. an Oscar win because he's doing like a real movie and not like, cape shit, right?
Mhm.
But I think that performance is just like grossly overrated. Like he's good. I just like I don't understand why people think he's Oscar worthy. It just kind of like it's kind of like Top Gun, where like I like the movie, I give it a 7, but I just was freaking out because everyone was acting like it was the second coming of Jesus. And I feel something similar here, but it's a performance instead of a film. And I'm just like, I don't I don't really get it. Maybe if I watch the movie a second time, I'll get it. But right now, I
Robert
really
Downey
don't get
Jr.
it.
He's so my acting winner. My like supporting actor winner. I really liked him. I thought it was really good.
It's not even like I desperately need Ryan Gosling to win necessarily. Like Charles Melton would be my preference, but like I know that motherfucker ain't winning. So I'm like, just give me like the next best option, which would be Gosling or Mark Ruffalo. And
See, I feel the same way about like, cause I thought Ryan Gosling was really good, but I don't understand the kind of things. I think it was good, but I prefer Margot.
well, I guess we're even then. I mean, it's just like I just don't really get the Robert Downey Jr. thing. Like I don't even think he's um. Well, I think Killian's the only actor in that film who's worthy of individual awards. But uh, I think if you're going to nominate a supporting actor, I think personally, like I would rather nominate like Jason Clarke, for example.
I can't remember who he was.
He's the deposition guy.
Oh,
Um,
Loki with that Matt Damon from Oppenheimer
oh,
would
this
have been
Matt Damon did get nominated. Oh my
I
God.
don't get that either. I
would have
really
been
don't.
like
Oh my
a nomination
God.
I could have taken off. I guess not.
I'm so glad
As I
that Matt
said
Damon's
as
getting
I
like,
said
but
yesterday,
he's fine.
he's
I
more
think
like John Bernthal, King Richard than Jesse Plemons, Power of the Dog. And I feel very
I
vindicated with
think
that comparison
Matt
now.
Damon kind of plays similar roles in all of the movies. So I kind of feel like Matt Damon and like all the movies he's in. He kind of just plays the same person in all the movies. But yeah, no, I'm so glad that Matt Damon wasn't a thing. I know a couple people were kind of scared he was gonna be, but I would love
I
to see Cara
never
Jade
bought it.
Myers.
I guess I'm glad to say I never bought it.
Yeah, I would love to see Cara Jade Myers kind of get something. I thought she was really good. Um, yeah, I don't know if there's really kind of. I'd have to watch the movie again if I'm being super honest.
Yeah, I need to watch Oppenheimer again. I watched Killers for a second time. I need to watch Oppenheimer a second time. I've also seen Barbie a
Yeah,
second time.
they're just a little long. Yeah, they're just a
Uh,
little long, unfortunately. They're
A
really
little long,
hours.
yeah.
A little long.
There's a lot of stuff I need to watch for a second time. Like Anatomy of a Fall, which we're gonna get to. Believe me, we're gonna get to that. Um, actually, wait, is that the next film thing? I mean, we can briefly gloss over TV if y'all want to, but
TV is it went to Beef Beef Beef. Um,
the bear, the bear, the bear.
no Beef Beef. And Succession. Only Murders in the Building. Oh, not Only Murders the Crown is the one supporting. So, expected. Nothing super shocking. If we're being
Hmm.
super honest, it was all very expected. I think like the Crown, like Elizabeth
Yeah,
wedding was probably the biggest shock that we
I mean,
thought.
because after the supporting categories, which why are we still inviting Jared Leto to award ceremonies? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I get that
I mean,
I
yeah,
get that
but like
he's Morbius, but
after,
come on. I get that he's
I mean,
Morbius,
yeah,
but
but
come on.
after like I mean, I thought the same thing, but then like the opening monologue happened, and I was like, oh, I'm so happy to see Jared Leto for once. Thank God. If it gets
Um,
him off the screen, then yes, I'm happy to see Jared Leto here.
you know what? Sure, why not? Um, because after I mean after the supporting categories, Best Actress, for miniseries, Ali Wong and Beef, and then Steven Yeun and Beef. We love to see it.
Okay. Beef swept, but
Elizabeth
that's really
Debicki in The
easy
Crown,
when
which was my first
beef
wrong prediction.
Yeah,
beef
that was a surprise for
swept.
me.
Beef swept, but that's really easy when your category has 3
And then
awards.
Matthew McFadden for supporting actor. We love to see it.
Congratulations on your Emmy win next week.
Mm-hmm. His second one at that. But then we get to best screenplay.
I was
Look,
so shocked. I was watching this with my friends, and when this happened, I was ahead of all of them, and my friends were like, "You better shut the fuck up when this is awarded," and I was so shocked.
how far behind were they? I'm just curious.
Only like five, like they were like 10 seconds behind, but I heard the winner like way before them, and they were like, "Shut the fuck up."
I just want to say, I said yesterday when we recorded the predictions, I said, I don't think it's all that impossible that this movie could win. Um, but I think like Jazz was like, I don't know, it didn't win that many awards. And I was like, you're right. I think these other movies have a shot. But the award went to Anatomy of a Fall for best screenplay.
I think it just shows that they really did, and adding all those members, they really do have a very international
Which
body right
listen,
now,
I'm
which is
for
good.
this. I'm for this. I support this.
So it should be, I guess, as a president for, I know who's listening who doesn't know, the Golden Globes do have zero voter overlap with the Oscars, which is why they don't line up with the Oscars a whole lot. So you always have to kind of take Golden Globe wins with like a grain of salt because of this, because they have like
I'm not
no
even
overlap.
I'm not even
And this
talking
and
about
this is also really unhelpful because of just placement of like Barbie in terms of what's happening in adapted screenplay.
I mean
What the
like
fuck's happening in adapted screenplay? I don't know.
well, this is a combined screenplay category, so
Which also doesn't help.
like I'm not even talking about the Oscar predictions angle of it though. Just purely based on like the idea that's like, guys, I kind of think this is a possibility. I'm not gonna dare predict it. I'm not bold enough to predict that. But I wouldn't like I mean I said it'd be a little surprised, I think. I didn't expect it to actually fucking happen. I didn't expect it to actually fucking happen. And I mean, I guess it's kind of like Jasmine said. It the new international members to the organization um really kind of bolstered that in a lot of ways because there's I guess new international winners. To be honest though, I think besides this and like a couple of others maybe, I don't think the results are necessarily that different from what the old
Because
voters
I
would have
feel like
done.
old voters would have gone Taylor Swift Eras Tour, like 200% because Taylor Swift is there.
Hmm.
I
Because
don't
she
know.
went.
I
I think
don't
they'd go. I think they would have gone Taylor Swift, and I think they would have given Barbie a couple more awards. Honestly,
I mean,
I think Barbie really would have appealed to
I agree with
awards.
the Barbie point.
I
I
think they
think
would have
Barbie
given.
still could have won box office is the thing.
I can
And I
totally see
think
them giving it to Taylor Swift because she like went.
and like I
She like
think
arrived.
they all did though. I mean, like I think the fact that like I think Old Globes, like I mean, they still gave it to Robert Downey Jr. for Oppenheimer, even with these new voters. I think the old Golden Globes would have still done that. The
Do you
old
think
Golden Globes
old
still would
Globes?
have
Do you
gone
think old Globes would have
Oppenheimer sweep.
done their animated winner, or do you think they would have done some like Spider-Verse?
Okay,
Not Spider-Verse, like
that's fair. That's fair.
because I feel like they would not have done Spider-Man.
I think it's a bit like
Also, old voters would have definitely been past lives
my
nominated,
point
in
is
my
that
opinion.
I don't think they completely changed.
No, but
I
I can definitely see the influence of the international
well, yeah,
voters.
like there's like I didn't argue that you couldn't see it. I just don't think that it was like a complete 180.
No, but I do think Barbie would have won more awards.
You might
I
be
think Barbie.
right. Like
I
I
do
think it
think
probably
Barbie. I
would
think it
have
would
won
have won comedy.
screenplay.
I think it might have won like comedy musical maybe.
I'm
Barbie did
I'm
really poor. Barbie did like really poorly.
I mean I don't think it was locked for comedy musical picture or screenplay to begin with. And it
No, but
was
I definitely see why a lot of
like
people had it just kind of taking screenplay, taking like picture
this is
with it.
I mean, this is by far like the most shocking like win. Like not many people saw this coming. I'm pretty sure it was like last place on Gold Derby.
I have this
The
feeling. Do you
other
think it can
upsets
win? Do you think it can
that
win BAFTA? Like Anatomy?
I'll get to that in a second.
Oh no, because Barbie's gonna be an
The
original, isn't it?
the
Fuck.
the other um films in the category, the other upsets that happened were upsets that people thought could happen, right? Like people
Yeah,
thought Boy
I
the
think this was
Heron
the
could upset.
biggest. This was definitely.
People thought poor things could happen. Nobody really expected this.
I saw a
Uh,
couple people do, and they're very, very. They're like, I predicted that.
there's always going to be those people, but like I
Which is good
think,
for them if you predicted
yeah,
this. Honestly, good for you.
this is like the only one I think where like people, where like a lot of people were genuinely just like, what the fuck happened? Like they were shocked. As far as your point about it winning BAFTA,
I forgot that Barbie's an original.
well,
This screenplay can raise.
I will
This
say that
screenplay generally is just so
I
unhelpful.
will say this. If for whatever reason Barbie missed best film and Anatomy got in, because that's what I think would get in if Barbie missed best film at BAFTA. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's possible, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think if that were to happen, I would immediately predict Anatomy for screenplay at BAFTA.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That would like put that at having Golden Globe and BAFTA for screenplay.
Yeah, and WGA obviously doesn't need anything this year, so
It's not
nor did
nominated
it.
at
Nor did
Critics'
it last
Choice.
year. Nor did it last year. So
I mean, even if WGA did matter, it's not eligible.
yeah. Oh yeah, because it's yeah. Because
Uh,
Justin Ice name is not a member of WGA, so
well, neither is her husband, Arthur Harari. So,
I just
um,
like screenplay just feels like really hard to predict because of the category switch, and obviously it's not switching in BAFTA, so you're kind of just taking a shot at art.
the thing about it is, yeah, like the movie also got snubbed for Critics' Choice, which is not a perfect barometer by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not trying to assert that it is, but it's kind of weird for that movie to like win and to not have that nomination. That being said, this is sort of a weird year where Critics' Choice just put their middle finger up to international films and basically nominated what they thought the Golden Globes were going to nominate.
Yeah, they
And that's
turned
what
into the Golden Globes,
that's why you
basically.
saw Saltburn in Best Picture.
What do you think, Jared? What do you think of Anatomy winning?
Um, one, I think Elizabeth Debicki was the surprise on TV, and I think Anatomy
That
winning
was
screenplay was the surprise
I mean,
of the film categories.
this was more surprising, I think, because with supporting actress, I was like, I don't know what the hell to do.
I don't think anyone kind of knew what was going on with
Yeah,
supporting actress.
with screenplay, people were like, it's Poor Things, it's Barbie, it's Oppenheimer. I guess
I mean, when we
it's
talked
Past
about like
Lives.
last night, we kind of all thought Anatomy Fall would be like last place.
I didn't think that. I said Killers was last place.
Okay. I don't
It might have
know.
been me. I don't know.
Good, good for the team. Um, good for Neon. Good for everyone. Hope they're celebrating and over here in California. Yeah.
Yeah, screenplay is weird this year.
Yeah.
Did we around for the Moonlight year for Jared?
Um, No, but I know basically what happened.
I,
No, because if you were around, I was gonna ask what you predicted for screenplay because it's kind of like that this year, and then
I think
Moonlight
if
obviously won
with
adapted and stayed in
with the
original, and
information I had, I think I probably would have said Manchester by the Sea. Um, uh, Even if I'm like, if I had no context of what actually did win, I think I would go Manchester because it's just like musicals don't win fucking screenplay. And like Manchester did win the BAFTA, so it's not like
yeah,
crazy to think.
because it kind of just feels like that year when obviously like the precursors for screenplay aren't going to be any help because of Barbie's placement. So we're kind of just shooting a shot in the dark with the screenplay this year in terms of what wins,
Yeah.
which is a
I
little unfortunate. But this definitely helps Anatomy having a win going into the other like ceremonies.
that yeah, that is huge. I I'm kind of like not really sure. Like if because if Barbie wins Critics' Choice, which I think it's still going to,
I agree with that. Yeah.
and if it also wins BAFTA, which I'm not positive that they're gonna do, um, then I don't know what the hell to do. I might just say, you know what, Anatomy of a Fall won the Golden Globe, might as well. Uh, but if Anatomy does win the BAFTA, I think I would be inclined to predict it.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah. What a fun category. What a fun set of categories this year the screenplay categories are.
Yeah.
Don't we love it?
Okay. They moved on to best comedy actor in a TV. That's my husband Jeremy Allen White. Um,
yeah.
Good job,
we,
Jeremy Allen White. We
we
love
love
you.
him. Uh, Stand-up performance that went to Ricky Gervais.
Wasn't
Uh,
even there.
and he wasn't there. I don't know if any of them are there to be honest.
I think two of them weren't there, but I think a bunch of them were.
Hmm. Then you get non-English language film, which also went to Anatomy of a Fall.
Which was not shocking after its screenplay
No,
winning
it wasn't
screenplay win, it wasn't
shocking.
shocking.
I kind of I kind of still like had this idea because like last year they did RRR in song, and after that we were like, oh, it's definitely going to win international, and then Argentina 1985 wins.
You know,
And
to
then
be
we're
fair, RRR was never like a I think like Anatomy being kind of like a picture player help, and RRR obviously never was a picture
I mean,
player.
All Quiet was a bigger picture thing than either film, and it didn't win.
Fair enough.
Um, I just kind of like had this feeling where it's like they could still just go with Past Lives, but they did not. So look, even though I like Past Lives more as a film, I'm glad it did not win because on principle, I do not think American films should be allowed to compete. Yes, I understand it's mostly not in English, but I think it's only fair to let like non-American films compete in the foreign language film category because in most cases, the American film's just going to have the advantage. And, that's what happened with Minari. That's what happened with Letters from Iwo Jima. There's a couple examples that um, I don't have off the top of my head, but it's always kind of annoying.
Yeah.
And I would rather they limit it to movies from countries outside of the United States. And I'm glad that the Oscars does not have this rule because you know goddamn well that the American movie would win every year if the Oscars allowed American films to compete. Um, anyway, moving on from that, you've got the award for comedy musical actress in a TV series, which look, I gotta commend Jasmine here. She was right on the money, and I was like, I don't
I
know.
knew it was gonna be Io
It
Gabriel
was
this
Io. It
time.
was Io in the
I knew it was
bear.
gonna be
Yeah.
Io this whole time.
Look, I'm
Didn't
not
I say as
upset.
well? want to.
No, I
Okay.
think you joined me with
You
Rachel
both were
Brosnahan.
like, maybe it should
Yeah,
be
I
Rachel
wasn't sure.
Brosnahan.
I wasn't sure because here's the thing. I part of me still thinks that performance is like supporting, which I understand that it's not, right? Like I like in my head it's like it's not really supporting anymore. But I don't know, I'm kind of used to the Bear season 1 where she was supporting and like always being put there. And I was like I don't know that they would do that, but like that thinking was kind of dumb, I think, because I mean of who won drama actress for one. But also because like does it really matter? Especially if like because this probably should have been my first red flag. They did not do Marvelous Mrs. Maisel in a comedy series. And I guess Abbott Element people just aren't crazy about Abbott Elementary this season. I haven't seen
No,
it,
they're not.
but I
No,
don't know.
no.
So maybe like Io was just the obvious choice. But no, I gotta commend you. I should have I should have been more considerate of Io there. I'm happy I got it wrong though because she does deserve it and um I hope this wins two more wins. I hope this leads to an Emmy win for next season at least.
All right, so as far as I can tell, sorry, I just went on to Wikipedia to see. So obviously Letters to Iwo Jima won back in like 2006. Which was also the United States. I think the last English I found like last English language films that also won. I don't know if that had much to do with like uh the category being like foreign. I don't know what it was, but Passage to India, as far as I can tell, was in English and also won this category, which is very odd.
Well,
And Test by Roman Polanski won in like the 1980s. So I don't know. This category is weird, and it's like name is super weird.
yeah, I
You
still don't like that. Um
know, the category is weird. The
Also,
name is weird.
not that this wasn't obvious, but like France is probably like, what the fuck are we doing, man?
See, everyone is saying that. I disagree. I do not think France cares about
I mean,
knowing,
I think some people are, but like,
but I think the people who submit, because France knows what they want to submit, with the exception of Teton, which was a big sway for them. They usually go something just very traditionally French, and Anatomy of a Fall is just not traditionally French, and it's half in English. So I will
well,
continue to argue that I do not
there's
think
also
the
like
people who
apparently
submit
like
made a mistake.
some some people didn't want to do it because Trier talked shit about the government in her Palme d'Or speech. I don't know how true that is.
I
But
don't know how true
I
that
think
is,
some people on that board are like, man, we could have had a slam dunk
but
with that.
I think they are always very kind of like they'll pick what they pick. I kind of regardless of whether it like
Sure,
feeds
but
to
like
like
I'm
anything else. Because Paris they picked fucking Portrait of a Lady on Fire, or they picked Les Miserables like over like Portrait of a Lady on Fire a couple of years ago, which was like insane. So
I
they
mean,
just kind of go for traditionally French, and if like they don't like the film or the filmmaker or whatever, they like won't pick them because
well,
the French are really snobby. I find French
I think
very snobby with who they pick.
I think some people on that board though have got to be thinking like, man, we could have a slam fucking dunk win with that though.
Yeah, I think as a whole, I think they're like very happy with their pick. That's very traditionally French.
Well, we can agree at least that Anatomy would be a slam dunk if it was
Yeah, oh,
submitted.
it would have won. It definitely would have won. I think now it's probably just own. But I'm fine with. I haven't seen the movie, but I'm fine with it. But
Yeah.
yeah, Taste of Things is it's really fucking French. Like I see why they picked it over Anatomy of a Fall, like as like a movie like standpoint.
All right.
The French are a little kind of pretentious with kind of what
Um,
they think, with the
we
acceptance
got
of
a little bit
something.
out of order there. Because after musical or comedy for actress in TV, they did an animated feature, which Boy and the Heron. Um, a lot of people said this was possible. I didn't really believe it, but it happened.
I
Um,
believed it. I still think Spider-Verse takes the
yeah, I don't think it has that much
the
bearing on it
Oscar.
unless like BAFTA decides, you know what? We're doing the same thing, right? That I was supposed to clap. You know what? We're doing the same thing. I
Yeah,
have a
I'm
few,
gonna I think wait to see what BAFTA does,
yeah,
and then just decide. I think if BAFTA goes for Boy and the Heron as well, I think I'll go for Boy and the Heron. But part of me thinks
yeah.
that
It
BAFTA
didn't.
will just go
There
with
didn't really.
Spider-Verse.
It didn't really fully feel like a momentum shift, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, it felt like something that when we realized that the Globes were going more like foreign based because of their increased viewership, I was like, okay, Boy and the Heron makes sense.
Yeah. I do think that the BAFTA could do it. I think Critics' Choice, if they're just like, let's copy the Golden
Oh, I don't know what
Globes.
Chris gonna
I
do
don't think they're gonna
now.
do that, but maybe. Um, then the award for
I was trying to
best.
look at at the BAFTA like animated history, but the category is not old enough for Spirited Away to be here. It's too young.
I
But this
think.
would be the first like anime type film to be to win here, though. Be the first Miyazaki film to win here.
I mean, with BAFTA, like I'm not necessarily that hopeful either because they're like the Oscars and they typically they like to go with the Disney movie as well.
Yeah,
So,
BAFTA's really hard to go off of because they didn't exist when Spirited Away won, like the category. So
well, I think Boy and the Heron's a very different film than Spirited Away. It's a very different race than Spirited Away. I don't think like we need to compare it to Spirited Away. I think that's
yeah.
kind of if it
I was just seeing if they gave Spirited Away the win, but they didn't. They didn't exist. The category didn't exist. This came in like the year after Spirited Away, unfortunately. But yeah, they typically go very like Disney-ish, from what I can tell. So who knows what they'll do? I think they'll just go Spider-Verse if I'm being super honest. Um,
that's my thinking, but I think you kind of have to look out for it. Um, so after animated, because like none of the people showed up. Though I say that, in number one, Florence Pugh, who is in the English dub of the movie, was there presenting the award, and Mark Hamill was there. He's in the English dub of the movie. He was there. Willem Dafoe was there. He's in the English dub of the movie. And I see on Instagram, uh Karen Fukuhara, I think that's how you're supposed to say her name. She plays the fire lady in the English dub. Was with Joe Hisaishi on the red carpet. So I'm like, you couldn't get like I understand that these are English dub cast members, right? But you couldn't at least get like Joe Hisaishi to come up and accept the award because he was there. Like you couldn't at least do that or like have a voice actor accept it. I don't know. It's kind of weird. But regardless. So then after Boy and the Heron wins animated, we get Best Director, which of course, as we know, everyone expected this to happen. Uh
yeah,
the
no,
award for Best
congrats on your
Director
Oscar.
went to Jeremy Boring for Lady Ballers. I'm just kidding. Uh um no, I went to Christopher Nolan for Oppenheimer.
Congratulations on your Oscar, Christopher Nolan. Congratulations.
This is like Poirot and Roma.
Yeah, congratulations on your Oscar. I don't know why they do it in the middle of the show though. I
Yeah,
don't
that's
get it.
so dumb.
I don't know why they do it closer to like comedy musical being working out.
It's so dumb.
Very weird. But yeah,
But
congratulations. Nothing else kind of really stands a chance because I don't even know who second place would be. I'm being super
Yorgos.
honest.
I'm gonna say Yorgos.
Think like Yorgos.
At least here it was Yorgos, I think.
That
Um,
makes sense. Yeah, like me and my friends were like talking about it, and we're like, who would he even lose to at this point? Like nothing would make like at the Oscars, who would he lose to? Like it's like Martin Scorsese, that wouldn't make any sense unless they just want to give another Oscar to Marty. That like doesn't make any sense. So
Jeremy Boring. It's Jeremy Boring for Lady Ballers. Come on. Ted Cruz is winning supporting actor. Okay,
yeah,
we're not.
congratulations, Christopher Nolan, your first Oscar win. We're happy for you. Your fanboys will never shut up now.
Well, hopefully they do now that he actually has one, and they just focus on like Zack Snyder or whoever. Uh,
Oh no, we don't need to get them started on Jackson. No, we don't need them to do that.
Jasmine, it's inevitable.
I don't need them
Um,
going like, oh, Zack Snyder needs an Oscar. I don't need them doing that.
well, then who is gonna be the next film? Actually, wait, David Fincher. David Fincher. That's who they're gonna focus on next is David Fincher. Um,
No, just leave him alone. Leave David Fincher alone.
best motion picture musical comedy actress is what came after this. Um, and the award, I mean, do we even have to like say it? It was Emma. It was Emma
Yes.
Stone. We figured it out, everybody.
Woo. No, I'm a Porsche. Shocking win of the night.
Um, this was probably like the easiest thing to predict the whole thing night because it's like, who would she even have lost to?
No, I
You
think
could,
Christopher Nolan was pretty easy. I think
I
Christopher
mean,
Nolan was pretty easy.
okay, yeah, I mean, you're kind of right, but also there were people who were like, "Oh, maybe Marty could
Like,
win."
am I wrong? Like,
I don't think anyone seriously entertained anyone not named Emma Stone for this. Whereas some people were like, "Marty, maybe Marty."
good for Emma Stone though.
This is
Like, good for Emma Stone though. Didn't realize she had 8 nominations
yeah,
for
like
Golden
8.
Globes.
So it's
I guess
like I
two
guess
of them came tonight. So
yeah, because what there was The Curse, and then there was all her Oscar nominated ones. So that makes 5.
and then like Battle of the Sexes and
Easy A
Cruella, she got a nomination for. And she
and
got a
Easy
nomination for Cruella, I
and
think.
Easy A. So that's a
I didn't know she got a nomination for that. Good nomination.
Hmm.
um
Yeah, I think actress is firmly a race between the Stones.
we'll talk about
Like
the other stone later. Um let's manifest this win into more wins in the future, please. Let's do it. Come on.
I'm like really
Um
torn between whether I want her or Lily to win the Oscar. I want them both to win. If I have them tie, I'll be perfectly content with that.
um now best actor in a drama motion picture, which I'm very happy about the decision I made yesterday
Just
to
holding my breath.
to switch to Killian Murphy. Because I just had
I
this
kept
hunch
fucking
that
Bradley
like momentum
Cooper.
was shifting and that uh I kind of started to think like are we really gonna predict the guy in like the biggest biopic ever from one of the biggest directors ever and the movie that's probably gonna win Best Picture? Are we gonna predict that movie's lead actor, the title character, to fucking lose? Are we really gonna do that? Like it just kind of started to click with me. And like I understand that Bradley like wants it the most and he's trying the hardest. And if Oppenheimer did not exist, I think this would be slam dunk for him. But that's not what's happening, and I think it's like, you know what? I think you just got to go with Killian. And I made that switch at the last minute yesterday. I'm very happy with myself. And now I kind of expect that Killian might honestly just sweep.
Well, I think this tonight proved. I think Killian is first. I think Bradley Cooper is third. I think Paul Giamatti is second.
I kind
I
of think I would still have Bradley in second, I think. I don't really believe that Paul Giamatti can win SAG. I don't.
I also think I don't see Bradley Cooper winning anymore.
I mean,
I
I
think
don't
there's
know.
a
Maybe I need to
world.
be convinced, but yeah. I kind of think it's Jover. Now maybe SAG gives it to him, and it's like, oh, there we go. There we go. Maybe Critics'
I
Choice
do.
does it.
I would really like them not to
I
sweep.
don't think Critics' Choice is gonna go for him though. Like
That's
I don't think they
annoying.
have any excuse to not go with Cillian Murphy at this point.
I would really like three of the acting winners to not sweep personally. Not that I wouldn't like them as winners, but just from just like a race standpoint, it gets a little boring.
Well, we need Ryan Gosling to win SAG.
I think there's a world to win tag. I think Barbie would be more likely to go for like Ryan Gosling. Personally, I could see a world where he wins tag. I don't know if it's likely, but I can see a world. I wouldn't mind it if it caused like a little bit of a race.
I think
I think sweeps are fun every now and then, but if like so many of the categories this year just ended up being sweeps, then like I like when there's races. I think they're fun and they are. I'll have a lot more interesting discussion rather than us just going through all of the winners and being like, oh, they're all going to the same people.
yeah, I get that. But I kind of just feel like at this point, like I don't know that I can predict Killian to lose anymore anywhere. Even
Now,
SAG, I think like
now predict
it's
Killian
just
until he loses.
it's very likely that they just go along with him.
Predict
And
Killian until he loses. In
I
your
think
words.
I think it would be a better win for it because he's better than Bradley Cooper. I think he's better than Brendan Fraser. I think he's better than Will Smith. Debatably better than Anthony Hopkins. Debatably. I need to see the movie again. Um, it would be one of the best actor wins in a little bit because recently it's just been very rough with Phoenix and Malik Oldman. You had Affleck, which was good. You had DiCaprio, which I think it's a great performance, but a lot of people think it's trying too hard. There's Eddie Redmayne, there's McConaughey. Yeah, kind of rough for best actor. And I think this would like save it. um,
Yeah, I'd say now predict Killian until he loses. In people's words.
um, then it was score and song. Score went to Oppenheimer.
Congratulations, Ludwig Göransson,
Like,
on your second
Yeah.
Oscar.
yeah, it was always inevitable. Like I don't know, the minute you see like Instagram reels of people like making spaghetti from scratch to can you hear the music? It's like it's Jover. It's Jover. It's
I
always been
love
Jover.
Oppenheimer's score and I love Ludwig Göransson, but I really do wish there was like a different winner of each ceremony because I do think all of the scores this year that are like in contention are like so good. Like I would
And
love Boy in the Heron to win. I would love Spider-Verse to win. All the Poor Things to win.
Then there's Song, which I I I bend the knee to Queen Jasmine here, because they gave it to What Was I Made For.
I think old globes are gone for I'm Just Kind, but I am not shocked.
Yeah, I
That
concede, and I'm switching to Billy. I'm switching to Billy now because of this, because I think Critic Choice are gonna do it, and yeah.
no, I think Critics' Choice are gonna do I'm Just Kind.
Actually, no, you're right. They could do that.
I'm gonna go do I'm Just
But
Kind
no,
personally.
I do cave and I'm gonna
We all
go
love the
Billy
song
now.
for some reason. But yeah, no, I think Billy's winning the Oscar. I think it's just kind of easy as that. Personally, I know friends who are still going with them. Just kind of good for y'all. I do
No.
think this is just Billy's. Like,
Yeah, I
obviously, like
cave. I'm
Ryan
caving.
did his whole like Christmas I'm Just Kind of thing, but like again, Billy is campaigning. She
Yeah,
is like everywhere. She
I'm
wants
caving. I'm
this.
predicting Billy to win number 2 now. So, you know.
Number two before 25. Good job, Billie Eilish.
Hmm.
We love that for her.
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of her, but I'm happy for her, I guess.
It's impressive.
Um,
I'll say that. It is impressive.
then you get best limited series, and then best musical comedy series, which shocker, go to Beef and the Bear. Wow.
Ooh, shocker. Shocker. Shocks of the night.
And then, man, I fist pumped when this happened, because like I mean I knew it was gonna happen, but it was the one where it's like, you've got to do it, you've got to do it, you've got to do it.
Can't remember the order
Actually,
of the
wait, we
awards. I don't know
skipped
which one you're talking.
something.
I
We
don't know which one
kind
you're
of,
talking. I don't know which one you're talking about because I can't remember the order of the awards.
I think we skipped somebody real quick. Hold on, I gotta, because I'm looking on Wikipedia and they don't have it. That's why. Uh, we skipped Kieran Culkin for drama actor.
Yay! I hope he wins the Emmy. We'll find out next week. A
But
lot of people thought Pedro
look,
Pascal was going to win here. Actually,
for the yeah, no. For drama actress though, I mean, I knew it was gonna happen, but I was like, come on, it's time. You have to do it. If you don't do it, what are you doing? I was just waiting for it. Sarah Snook Succession.
didn't Sarah Snook win last year?
Hmm?
Hasn't Sarah Snook won a Golden Globe?
No. Well, wait. Shit. I think I'm morbing. I think I'm morbing.
Someone mentioned this to me that she's won a Golden Globe before.
I think you might be right,
From last
and I
year.
just blocked it from my memory.
Yeah, she won last year. She won
Okay.
last year in supporting. Yeah.
Shit.
She won the one. Yeah, she won in 2022. I'm pretty sure Julia Garner wasn't in contention, so I assume that's why she won.
Okay. Then I must have blocked it from my memory because that was the year the Globes were not broadcast.
No, yeah, that was the Globes podcast.
So we didn't see her with
What an
one.
unfortunate year for her to win.
Yeah.
No, last year was Jared Carmichael, wasn't it? So it was a show.
Uh, oh, it was 2021. The like
Okay,
previous
so
one.
that was the one that was on. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
she didn't have
Okay.
she didn't have Julia Garner in contention,
Yeah.
which is why she won.
Yeah. That's I must have just blocked that from my memory. So I'm sorry, everybody. I misled you. I spread misinformation. Now it's time for this podcast to be deplatformed because I'm just kidding. Um no, I really was fist pumping, and that Emmy, that Emmy's coming.
It's so close. So close.
I mean, I think she's gonna win it, but like I'm gonna watch but I might watch just to like see it. And
I hope she wins.
I mean, who else is gonna beat her?
Bella Ramsey Bella Ramsey would be the episode.
I mean, would they? I think they use they them pronouns, so I'm just saying they. Um,
Bella has stated that they are fine with all pronouns, but they do not get dysphoria from any pronouns.
okay. Um, well, I'll just keep saying they then because it's easier.
Yeah.
Um, do they really have like a huge chance though?
Considering how well The Last of Us did, if there's a world where it happens.
Yeah.
Because The Last of Us won like 8 Creative Arts Emmys. But I don't know, we'll see. I still think it's Sarah's next to lose though.
I mean, look, it's got to be coming. I'm
I just needed
gonna
to win an
fist pump
Emmy.
again.
I just wanted to win a goddamn Emmy.
She's just, I mean, I guess at least this time it's not to like Julia Garner again, but I still need that win. And
Yeah,
then
such bad luck with always losing to Julia Garner.
after that we got TV series drama, which wow, shocker, Succession, right?
Oh, congratulations on your like third Emmy next week. Or did they win for season one? Fourth, I think.
They did not win for season one.
Congratulations on your third Emmy Succession team.
That was the year of Game of Thrones season 8.
Oh, congratulations on your Emmy Succession, your third one. You are a great show. You will go down in history as probably one of like the best shows of our time. So congrats.
Yeah. All right, last four here. Uh Actor, musical, or comedy. No surprise went to Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers.
But also kind of was another category where we were like, who else?
Well, there was an answer to that, and that was Jeffrey Wright. It's just the thing about it is we all kind of knew like it wasn't that likely, but like he was number two.
I think there's a little bit of a distance between one and two.
Well, there is, but like we knew he was two, like definitively two. Like no shot Matt Damon was gonna win. No shot Nick Cage was gonna win, right?
Mhm.
I thought it would have been fun if Joaquin Phoenix had won.
That would be
Because I'm like, this would have been
I'd be
so
for it.
funny
I would be for it.
if you won for Both Afraid.
I'd be for it. But that was obviously never going to happen. So we just ended up getting uh Paul Giamatti is
Just Paul Giamatti, you know. No one's
what we
perfect.
expected. He had a great speech, I thought.
I thought his speech was so sweet, where he thanked
Yeah.
teachers. I thought that was so
Yeah.
sweet.
We haven't talked enough about speeches because there was a lot of great speeches. Nolan had a great speech. Io had a great speech.
I think Io
Dave
had one of the best
Dave
speeches.
yeah, Io won for speeches of the night. Sarah Snook had a great speech. Kieran Culkin had a great speech.
There were a couple kind of really kind of like plain speeches, but I think they weren't
Yeah.
mostly they were good.
I really liked Io's and Emma Stone's speech.
Io's was really funny.
I also love how Justine Trier thanked Milo Machado Grainer and
Oh, that was
actually
sweet.
brought him to the show. I'm just like,
That was so sweet.
that was sweet. Yeah. Or actually, it's Milo, actually. That's how she said it in the
Is it
speech.
Milo?
Yeah, I
People have
think
been
it's
saying Milo. I think everyone has been saying Milo.
well that's the colloquial English pronunciation, of course. Of course
Yeah.
we say Milo.
Whoops.
So then we get the comedy
Whoops.
musical picture, which was a little bit up in the air. I think a lot of us were expecting Barbie. We knew Poor Things could win. Um, but like, once Anatomy won screenplay, and then Barbie like didn't win
But when
Ryan
Barbie just
Gosling.
when Barbie kind of started tanking, I went like, this ain't gonna be Poor Things.
Well,
I
some
think
people
this ain't
thought it
gonna
was
be
going to be The
Barbie.
Holdovers. I didn't,
I didn't because
because
it didn't have picture. It didn't have director or screenplay. That's why I
yeah,
went.
like
The
that's the
Holdovers.
thing. Like that just it isn't a thing. But of course, it ended up being Poor Things, which I mean I'm happy with.
I'm happy with that, honestly.
Yeah, like that's my favorite film of the year. So it's like,
Hmm.
yeah, and when you hear that score as they're up there, oh, so good.
Oh, it's very sad that everyone got clips except the actors. By the way, did you notice that?
Oh, I
That's so
wanted I didn't know when's
stupid.
a good
Yeah.
time to do it, but I love acting clips and I
I was
hate that there
so
wasn't any.
sad
But
that
we
there
got
was.
like 30 solid seconds of everyone's stand-up speeches. So
But like
I
everyone
also can't
else
be the only
got.
one who noticed that they just took the trailers, like not
I
even like
know.
yes.
real clips from the movie. They just took trailers. Like they just pulled a trailer off of YouTube and they put it in the damn show. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yes.
It was so lazy.
Like at least make like a montage, right?
There's so much effort for George.
Anyway, Poor Things
Also,
musical comedy.
I think someone pointed out the clip they used for Anatomy of a Fall was a clip in English for a foreign language film. So I was like,
That's
oh well,
like
okay.
kind of weird, yeah. Um, then you get Best Actress in a Motion Picture Drama, which uh went to Lily Gladstone, of course. Although a
For half a
lot of
second, I
people
did
were
wonder.
thinking, "Oh my God, is Sandra coming?
I
Is
know it's
Sandra
like is
coming?"
Sandra Hilaire gonna like upset here?
I mean, it was possible. It was always a possibility. I didn't think it was like that likely. But after Natalie won screenplay, I was like, "Oh, her chance just shot up big time." Um,
Yeah, I think Lily Gladstone had the best speech of the night, and they didn't play her off because the speech was definitely more than 30 seconds, and they didn't play her off. It was like 2 minutes.
yeah. Uh,
I think if they played her off, to be fair, I think everyone would have yelled.
I, yeah, I think like sometimes they just kind of know like maybe we shouldn't do that, the producers.
Also, can you imagine the headlines tomorrow if they cut Lily Gladstone off at 30 seconds of a different speech? Can you imagine the headlines?
Oh
It'd
Lord
be
have mercy.
awful. They would get so much flack if they cut
Tarred,
Lily Gladstone
feathered,
off.
quartered, you name it.
Yeah, she had a really, really, really good speech. I think the best speech of the night, like personally.
Mm-hmm.
I think like obviously like one of because all the Golden Globes like by themselves don't have a whole ton of impact just because they don't have like any voter overlap. But like her speech, if she keeps giving like that kind of speech, people like are gonna want to see her on stage and they're gonna want to see her speak as
I
well.
kind of feel like I have to cave. And I don't
I still think it's a race. To be fair, I do still think it's a
I
race.
mean it's a race, but I kind of feel like people are
Like
just
I
not
do
excited
think
about Emma Stone anymore.
well, because I do think Gladstone will win SAG.
Well
I think
then
she'll win Critics' Choice, maybe. But BAFTA, I don't know. I think BAFTA going for Stone.
I could definitely see that, but like SAG is
That seems like a
last.
performance based.
So I
So yeah,
I kind of feel like at a certain point you got to be like, all right.
like I think that
Sometimes
speech kind of
performance
definitely helped.
alone is just not enough.
It
The
kind of
movie strength is just
reminds.
not enough sometimes.
I think it kind of reminds. I don't think a couple people have said this that it's kind of like Hee Kwan's very wholesome speeches last year, and he was just very thankful to win and like be up there. I think it's kind of like that, which like
Yeah,
Lily Glad. Like
I
I
think at
think
a certain
people
point,
kind of feel the same way about Lily Gladstone.
yeah, at a certain point, I think you just kind of gotta like read the room a little bit. And it's like that's just what people want to see, and the performance alone is not enough
To be
anymore.
fair, Lily Gladstone will be a great one. She is fantastic in that movie. I
I
love that
agree with
movie.
you,
Well,
but
there's a lot of ones.
I mean, like to me, I kind of think that like I kind of wish she was still in supporting so that we didn't really have to have this conversation. I am of the belief that Emma Stone potentially gives the best performance of the decade. And like I
And I
just
think there's
feel
still a world
like
where Emma Stone wins.
objectively
If kind of
speaking,
her cards are played right.
performance alone, that's what should win. But obviously that's not what happens. So I just kind of wish that this were easy and Lily stayed in supporting so that we could say like so that this would just be easy, right? But that's not the way the world works. And I think at a certain point you got to kind of realize like people want to
I
see
actually would like
Lily. They
every
don't.
single ceremony to keep giving a different actress a winner. I think that'd be fun again. I mean, it's hell, but I think it would be fun.
So what you're saying is we need to push for Sandra Hüller to win at BAFTA.
Yes, we need a race. I mean, there's a weird world where it happens.
By the way, I just kind of I
Like,
want to say this. If for whatever reason you're listening and you had any and you had some doubts where it's like, oh, I don't know if they do Sandra Hüller, they might snub her. Lock that away right now. That's not fucking happening.
no, she's getting nominated. She's getting nominated. Like, she get nominated.
The movie has done
Do you think
well
Carey
enough.
Mulligan still get nominated?
I think Mulligan might be more likely to miss than Hüller at this point. I'll say that much.
Because see, me and my friends were talking about like obviously everyone thinks it's the four, and then the last one was kind of like it's Lee or Robbie. But then we brought up what if Mulligan misses, and those two just both get
You know
in,
what? I'll be honest. I think that's the situation I would prefer.
which like could happen if they just if the Academy isn't kind of like interested in Maestro, and I just kind of like these other like past lives and like Barbie more. It
I
just
I
depends. It
think
depends on.
that's the situation I would prefer because I mean this may be surprising coming from people. I really don't think Carey Mulligan gives an Oscar-worthy performance in Maestro. I think she's very good, but it's just like this isn't Promising Young Woman. This isn't Wildlife. This isn't Shame. It's not even an education for me.
I want to see what SAG
And
and
like,
BAFTA do in terms of Mulligan.
well, BAFTA,
'Cause
I think there's a very likely chance they don't nominate her. I'm not saying that because they snubbed her for Promising Young Woman. I'm just saying that because like
and granted, I
she,
know they have the whole like jury system and stuff like that.
yeah.
Which makes
Though
it, but
she
just
could
like,
just be top three, and it's like,
but
well,
like, I want to see what like industry, because obviously like Golden Globes is an industry, so I want to see what industry does in terms of Carey Mulligan before I decide whether or not to take her out. Because if the industry itself just really likes Maestro for some very odd reason, then like I think she just like stays in. But if for some reason she misses both SAG and BAFTA, then I might have to be inclined to start thinking of taking her out and just seeing like Lee and Robbie both make it in, which could happen.
and this is what I'm trying to say. Like, I think that's what I would want. Like, I think if Mulligan's missed and you had both Lee and Robbie, I think the lineup would be better than it would
Yeah,
be with Mulligan in it. Like, I think it would be drastically improved.
sorry about Mulligan.
That's another reason that like I wish Chloe Gladstone was in supporting, so that this would just be easy, and Lee and Robbie wouldn't have to worry about being snubbed.
What
But
do you think of actress Jared?
I don't know. Just go
Like
Emma
generally.
Stone. We overthink it too much sometimes. Oh no, it's Lily Gladstone, and just that's it. And hopefully Emma Stone upsets.
I'm still hoping for that too, buddy. Believe
Hmm
me.
But like, see, that's why I don't like this because Lily Gladstone's such a cool human being, and the representation of all is
Again, like
great.
this is why like I just wish she was still in supporting because like this would be easier. The world would be easier and like happier if we did this, right?
Oh my god, it'd be like 2019 again when everyone swept. Remember that? All four acting categories swept in 2019.
That would be annoying, yeah.
You know, I think now it is firmly a two-horse race between Gladstone and Stone.
When wasn't it?
I mean, yeah, but I'm
I,
excited to
I
try to see what happens
I never really
everywhere else.
believed that Mulligan was like win competitive, to be honest. And Hooler obviously is, but, you know.
I think she'd have to win like BAFTA for me to think that.
Which I guess isn't impossible, but like but it's highly unlikely, I think. But then we get to motion picture drama, final award of the night.
I wonder what one.
Presented by Oprah, which considering some of the stories coming out about Color Purple might not be the best optics,
I did find that
Um,
really funny.
but they
so
probably planned it before that happened.
so just to speak on that, I don't think what's happened to Color Purple is Oprah's fault. It's more Warner Brothers and like the whole like changing room situation. They called Oprah
To be
to
fair,
help
Jared, you're
get it.
probably right, but like I can't help but think that connection think of that connection. Right.
That's yeah, uh just she's not like the evil woman that plotted to ruin Tragedy P. Henson's day. And
Right. No, I hear you. I hear you.
The situation really sucked to hear about though.
Yeah.
The whole like kind of like shows kind of a failure from like WB and like SAG because I don't know why they didn't do anything with one. They're a union. I don't know what the fuck they were
very
doing.
suspicious, very weird.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck SAG were doing. They're a union.
I guess
I want
apparently they
them
were
to be
filming the same
union.
time as
So
Barbie, and so maybe unfortunately Warner Brothers just was too focused on Barbie to offer any other support to Color
I,
Purple. I don't know.
I guess it's also possible that maybe Spielberg could have stepped in, but he was not as involved with Color Purple as he was with other things.
no, I think
I'm
so. I think a lot of people have said that they think his name, him being a producer, is kind of just a vanity thing, and he was more focused on Maestro, which he also produced.
well, he was also working on the Fablemans and such. Look, I don't know what happened. I'm not gonna make any assumptions necessarily. I probably shouldn't have even made this joke, but I just couldn't help but put two and two together and say like maybe it's not the best optics to have Oprah present at the Golden Globes, considering, you know, what just came out about what happened on set. But yeah. Anyway, Oppenheimer.
Shocker! Oh my god, never would have thought.
Look,
I thought it was gonna be Anatomy of the Fall.
you know what? Honestly, that was probably second.
I mean, probably yes.
Like,
Probably was.
yeah, that had to have been second place. Look, I kind of want an upset to happen somewhere because I think it would just be so boring if Oppenheimer just won like 9 awards on Oscar night, where it's just like, oh my God, it just keeps happening, or if it's just Barbenheimer all night. Like, I want um chaos. Now, when I say chaos, I don't mean chaos like, you know,
Air getting in.
Air getting like 12 nominations. No, no,
We love having same brain
not that kind of
syndrome.
chaos. I mean chaos like Past Lives becoming Coda, or like Yorgos Lanthimos becoming Inarritu for Birdman.
I'd be
Like
so shocked.
that's the kind of chaos I want.
I don't know if we're gonna get that chaos. I think like screenplay, I think the texts are gonna be where the chaos is. I don't know how much chaos there's to the vocal line unless like it's like SAG or like that would really, really go wild. And so in major misses, which I wouldn't mind seeing because I would like some shakeup. Like I don't want to see like there's a chance that all four acting winners would pick up like they did in 2019. And I think all the acting winners would be deserving. But in terms of just predicting, it's really boring. Like, not very exciting discussion.
Here's a fun upset. Mark Ruffalo or Charles Melton.
Hmm.
I wish Charles Melton could happen. If I would, unfortunately, him missing the BAFTA log list really fucks that idea. We hadn't missed the BAFTA log lists.
Yeah,
Random
that
side
wasn't
note,
it. Yeah.
for some reason during the Golden Globes, Netflix announced like, oh hey, Del Toro's like Frankenstein, Andrew Garfield's not gonna be it anymore.
Oh
It's
yeah,
gonna
Jacob
be
Elordi.
Jacob Elordi. And apparently the main dude from All Quiet on the Western Front, the
That's
remake is gonna
cool.
be in it.
Oh, that's
So
Yeah,
cool.
that's cool.
that's cool.
I don't know what Andrew Garfield is doing though, because it was scheduling
It
issues.
was
I don't know what
scheduling
he's doing.
conflicts or
With
something.
what? With
I mean, I'm
what?
surprised the Lordy doesn't have scheduling conflicts because of
I know, that's what
Euphoria.
everyone said. I know.
They're like,
Dude, Euphoria's gotta be canceled. Like a producer died, an actor died. Elordi's
they're
becoming
supposed to
big
start
some
filming
days.
in Singapore soon. Which, like,
What the?
yeah, why Singapore?
That's Euphoria is it? Go back to teenage drama. That's what I signed up for. What are we doing in Singapore?
God. I have a feeling that like Euphoria season 3 is just gonna be terrible. Like, and I think everyone's gonna be like, no, this is just bad.
Yeah, I mean, though
I
people
actually
watched
like
season
Euphoria.
two.
I'm not
People
alone,
watched
and
season two.
I
I
actually like
thought
Euphoria.
season 1 was like fine. I thought season 2 was fine, right? But like, Sam Levinson is just so far up his own ass that
I do
like
genuinely actually like season one.
it ruins like the potential he could have. His work could have, right?
I do actually genuinely really like season one.
I just like I just have a feeling that season 3 before is gonna be absolutely terrible and everyone's gonna know.
Yeah.
Like again, why are they shooting in Singapore?
Yeah, I'd love some diversity in kind of like some acting ones. I remember in 2019, I think by the time they just got to Oscar predicting, everyone just kind of went, well, we know who it's gonna be. Let's just discuss something else.
Let's talk
Everyone just knew
about
it was gonna
who the
be.
runner up is gonna be. Yeah,
And everyone was like, well, let's just move on to picture and director, which are obviously more
yeah.
interesting
Or maybe Giamatti does win SAG.
conversations.
Who knows? I don't think that's gonna happen.
I
But
think Cooper would be more likely to win SAG.
I mean, some people think Giamatti could just like have she could just like surge with that narrative or something. But I don't. I'm kind of just starting to like be like, how did everybody not see Killian from the beginning, right?
Because I don't think we expected like Maestro to not be as embraced as it has, because it's clearly not been embraced.
Yeah. Okay,
The
well,
one,
never mind. Go ahead.
no, you can go. It's on.
I was about to
Oh.
outro, so you finish your point.
No, I was gonna say the 1 year for my draft, I picked Netflix, and it's the 1 year where they're not succeeding at the Oscars. God, look, damn it! I'm so angry about that. They've done so well the past 2 years. It's the 1 year, the year I pick them in my draft. Fine, not salty.
Uh, well, that's it, everybody. That's the
Ooh,
show. Love you all very much. Do the
so
Mafia a big
more.
favor and hook a brother up. Rate us on Spotify and
There's so many
Apple
more award shows coming up.
and like us. We're gonna be back later this week when we do Critics' Choice predictions and we talk about
Oh
SAG
God,
nominations.
God, so
And
many more award shows. We're in it.
and we're gonna ramp up this Oscars Mafia stuff. This is. Hope you guys like this name better than Gold Derby Horses. I think it's a better name than Gold Derby Horses. And let's try to keep up this Mafia theme, right? So basically, what I'm saying is, if you don't rate us on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts, and you don't, you know, share the stuff around, there's gonna be some trouble for you. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Gabagool. All right, bye everybody.
Night night.